So let's start it out with a movie we've been waiting for a long time, ever since Elle saw 28 Weeks Later in theatres. There was already chatter about the next movie was going to be 28 years later. It's finally coming out with Danny Boyle returning to the director's chair. Not that 28 Weeks Later isn't great. I love 28 Days, and Weeks Later both. But it is pretty cool that Danny Boyle is coming back to direct the third one. The trailer was solid. The anticipation's there, as it's been building for ages, even when it wasn't really being talked about. So, is that silent anticipation in our minds of fans of the first two films wins 28 years later coming out finally? Let's get delayed. Let's not jinx it. Recently I saw a trailer for a movie called Presence, which is a ghost haunting movie, like one of those haunted house movies. But the entire movie is from the POV of the spirit, like the as in the POV of the spirit haunting this house and freaking this family out. There's something I've always thought about a ghost hunting a house. Are they trying to be scary? Are they trying to be assholes? Or are they just trying to establish contact, even though they're establishing contact? They just confused. I don't know. I feel like Steven Soderbergh, being the talent that he is and the premise being as interesting as it is, has one to look forward to this year. And the movie comes out like 2 or 3 weeks, so soon enough, we'll know if it sucks or if it's great. Fingers crossed for it being great. Hope it doesn't suck. Next up, F1. This was the first trailer I saw in 2024 that really started to hype 2025 for me. Something about that trailer, We Will Rock. You think the Doom Joseph Kosinski, the director of Top Gun Maverick. My thought is if he puts as much effort putting the audience in the driver's seat of a Formula race car as he did putting the audience in the cockpit of a fighter jet for Top Gun Maverick, could have something special here, judging by the trailer looks like that might be the case. Hope it's good. I'm going to say that a lot in this video. Hope it's good, because that's all we can do. Next up, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, the final Mission Impossible film until the next Mission Impossible film. Glad they did away with that part bullshit. Though in practice, it's still Part Land Part 2, just not called that. I'm not basing this one off of Dead Reckoning Part 1 as much as I'm basing it off of the Mission Impossible legacy. The movies have been pretty consistently entertaining as the years have gone on, is a franchise that knows the assignment. Tom Cruise has had a pretty good run both figuratively and literally. And they will have him doing this till he's 9-0s, he'll be better than Fallout. Not counting on it. Next up, the biopic about Michael Jackson directed by Antoine Fuqua, cleverly titled Core Faves, Michael. It's more and more difficult to explain to people how big, how massive, how famous Michael Jackson actually was. That does raise a concern of how do you capture and illustrate that kind of life and career into a film? So Elle have some worries there, but it seems to be a labour of love. And Antoine Fuqua directing is no joke. We've already seen fans online scrutinising the continuity in the costumes biopic about the greatest entertainer of all time. Cannot look forward to that next up, Superman. Okay, like I talked about the trailer, it's a Superman movie. How am I not going to look forward to that kind of like when? Because it is when the James Bond movie, whatever it is coming out. I'm probably going to look forward to that. It's a staple, the thing, but just life with a Superman movie. Skip, I question whether or not James Gunn is the guy to bring me a Superman movie. As I like my Superman movies, I feel like he speaks to a younger audience and my old man energy's all like Richard Donner forever. I don't care. I don't apologise for any of it, but that trailer did get my curiosity and my wonder, like, I wonder what we get your Superman jacked only to hide the muscles under a baggy suit. But I do want to see how the movie plays out before I bitch about the suit too much. I want to see it in action that said new Superman movie. Hope they don't fuck it up. Next up, Frankenstein here, Model Toro, is making a Frankenstein movie that I will call Frankenstein from here out. But in the same way I might be making this comparison because Robert Eggers' Nosferatu is new still out in theatres. But in the same I heard, Robert Eggers' Nosferatu, and I was like, that's perfect. Here Model Toro and Frankenstein's, kind of the same vibe. I think he's perfect to direct a Frankenstein movie. Skip, what can I say? Also looks like 2025 is the year we have to choose our Frankenstein, and they're probably going to be wildly different monsters, so to speak, not to put too much of a pun on it. Yeah, here I'm a Toro Does Frankenstein that's making this list. Next up, Edgar Wright has a new movie coming out this year, and it's The Running Man. Most of us know it is the classic Arnold Schwarzenegger 80s action flick. But that movie is actually based off of a Stephen King story from the Bachman books that was an adaptation that's not entirely accurate. Starting Glenn Powell. Look, it's like this. I first saw him in Top Gun Maverick and I was like, oh, I call him the Frost Man across Man Forever because he's like Iceman. But not really. He's the Frost Man. And now I'm like, I don't hate him. He's one of those actors who rose to superstar him because the rest of us were like, want to work out. I don't know if Edgar Wright's going for a more accurate adaptation of the source material, or he's treating it as a remake of the Arnold movie. Edgar Wright making a new movie that's usually just a win, his take on The Running Man. I'd like to see that. I try to remember the directors to look up, to be like, hey, is this person making a movie this year? Kinda came across Don't Search his name. One of the names I didn't search out, Darren Aronofsky, has a new movie coming out this year called Caught Stealing. I think it's coming out this year, next year. I might mention it as a movie. I'm not going to talk about my 2026 anticipated movies because that Caught Stealing movie, though it was delayed, I talked about it here in 2025. I don't know. I've heard very little about it. That does make me nervous. Wrapped production not too long ago. But as Darren Aronofsky, I feel like he can edit the shit out of that thing in pretty record time. Google search says this burned-out ex-baseball player Hank Thompson unexpectedly finds himself embroiled in a dangerous struggle for survival amidst the criminal underbelly of 1990s New York City. Forced to navigate a treacherous underworld he never imagined, directed by Darren Aronofsky, starring Austin Butler. Picture I saw had Matt Smith, is probably the picture right here. I don't know until I start editing this thing, but it should be anyhow, yeah. Looking forward to that. Yeah, this next one here. I am a walking cliché. Avatar, Fire and Ash. You know, me at this point. I love James Cameron and those Avatar movies. They are escapism and its purest form, with James Cameron's hippie messaging at the course. Save the trees and Avatar save the whales. And Avatar Way of Water. Can't wait to save the igneous rocks and fire and ash. I don't know. I do wonder how long he can keep that formula going. Is it gonna be another thing where it's all right? The humans moved in, forced us out of our home. We hang out with the other Na'vi, this time volcano people. And we learn their waves. Rinse and repeat until we're done with this. Till they're 90. That runs the risk of getting repetitive. Only a slight concern at this point, because I kind of get it. Their water did it. Because it was like, yeah, that other Avatar movie, that's a while ago. First year of me doing YouTube videos. A while ago, hoping there's more here to sink my teeth into. We'll see. But if for nothing else James Cameron knows how to make that entertainment, I'll probably always look forward to a movie by him. I do hope the musical score game is stepped up this time around Avatar Way of Water. I didn't have that feeling of I need to go buy the soundtrack. Here's hoping for Fire and Ash. And that's it. That's 10. Those are 10 anticipated movies coming out this year. Hopefully. Unless they get delayed from me. Here's to another year of unknowns. Of 2024 wasn't your year. I hope 2025 is. I do remember something I heard someone say once. I was just there listening. But this dude was on a train. He was talking to someone, and he said the future hasn't been written yet. No one's has. The future is whatever you make it, so make it a good one. It always stuck with me. Seems like a smart guy. New Year's, me, new opportunities. So I hope your 2025 is a badass one. All right, so 10 movies doesn't even have to be 10 movies. I say 10 because, you know, keeps the more uniformity of a list of 10 on the channel, like mine or my channel in particular. So not put a number on it. What are your anticipated movies of 2025? Whatever they are, whatever you think, comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like it, you've seen here, and you want to see more, click right here to see more.